So let me get this straight. There's a new action movie coming out starring Megan Fox as the leader of a team of mercenaries who have to face off against a savage lion? I've actually been waiting a pretty long time to see Megan Fox in a role like this. Now, it's fair to say that a lot of folks have dismissed Megan Fox in the past, questioning her acting talent and dismissing her as being good for nothing but her looks. But despite these critics, I always had the impression that Megan Fox was a lot more down-to-earth than people gave her credit for, and even a decade later, folks are finally warming up to Jennifer's body, so I guess that's gotta count for something. And when she's not busy being a mom or hosting travel shows about ancient civilizations or splitting from 90210's David Silver to date Machine Gun Kelly, Megan Fox still finds time to be in the occasional film, and that brings us to her latest effort, Rogue, where she's playing a mercenary leader who has been tasked with rescuing some politician's daughter in some nondescript African village where they have to face off against a ferocious female lion. What? Yes, Megan Fox. From the Transformers films, from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reboot films, from, that disparate season of New Girl on Fox, is playing a soldier of fortune who is not just a soldier of fortune, but she is the commanding officer of a group of soldiers of fortune, and I am actually kind of here for this. I personally believe that she has been wanting to do a role like this for a really long time, something that takes her out of her comfort zone, doesn't rely on her conventional good looks, and is something where she can kind of flex her muscle a little bit as an actress. Of course, in watching the trailer for Rogue and having to give my honest impression about how this film looks to be shaping up, I don't know how good it may end up actually being. We've seen films like Rogue before. This isn't necessarily anything new, but you still kind of have this whole thing with the wild animal element added into it to make things more dangerous and exciting. And my impression watching the trailer for Rogue is that they didn't have a budget for proper animal wranglers or proper visual effects artists to actually visualize the lion in CG, because, oh boy, this looks interesting. Now, we still have a lot of big budget films with questionable CGI, and usually it comes down to the time they give the effects team to actually realize the vision that they have. And again, this is something that, in the case of Rogue, it's a film that probably didn't have the biggest budget to begin with, and they knew it was going to go straight to streaming, but my God, this is bad. I feel like there were better graphics in the PlayStation game Dino Crisis, because I feel like I'm watching the trailer and seeing the lion in Rogue, and it looks to me like every other frame of animation is missing from the final render, and it's tough to articulate, but when you see it, you'll notice it, and you'll have that even bigger disconnect of the animal not actually being real. And that's something that's, very unfortunate, because it looks so much like they're trying to play this as straight as possible, and they're taking it really seriously. So to have some very bad CGI for this lion and have it look so disconnected from reality is a big hurdle for this film to overcome, especially for Megan Fox wanting to play a role that takes her so far away from the image that we've had of her for the better part of a decade. I swear this reminds me of the Ed Burns film A Sound of Thunder, where the studio that was producing the film actually went bankrupt before post-production began, and the end result was CGI so bad it looked like you were watching a PBS docuseries about dinosaurs instead of something more comparable to what we saw in Jurassic Park 15 years prior. You almost get the impression that Lionsgate said, you know what? Disney was able to get away with having an obviously CGI'd animal character with Call of the Wild. They're not going to care if we skip on the budget for this, you know, ferocious lion that's supposed to be killing all of these people in an action thriller that's pretty straightforward. And even worse, they're actually trying to market this film on the fact that the director directed the Silent Hill sequel from 2012, Silent Hill Revelation, which no one liked. No one likes this film because it is a terrible film. And obviously I don't want to categorize MJ Bassett as a terrible director, but Silent Hill Revelation is a terrible film. If you want to do the whole from the director of approach when it comes to marketing, that's great and all, but maybe don't use a film from 8 years ago that no one enjoyed when you have other projects that you could be hyping up. MJ Bassett was a main fixture on the Scott and Stonebridge run of Strike Back, for example. That's a good one. Shoot, even Solomon Kane has a small cult following that you could probably make use of and capitalize on. Even Ash vs. Evil Dead would be a better thing to say as far as, you know, who the director of Rogue is. Even failing that, you just don't bring up the director at all. Like, don't make your job harder for yourself, is what I'm saying, Lionsgate. Now, I have to admit, there is a chance that there is some deliberate camp going on in Rogue, and even more to it, you could make this a double feature with another film, say the Nicolas Cage film Primal from a while back, which also featured a obviously CGI'd wild animal. And under certain circumstances, that might make for a more fun movie night than we're giving it credit for. At the end of the day though, I'm still kind of rooting for Megan Fox, especially with this film. You know, it's kind of like giving a handgun to a 10-year-old. You're not sure what's going to happen, but you're pretty sure it's going to make the papers. Surely there are still folks that want to write her off as nothing but a pretty face, but I applaud her trying to move beyond that and prove people wrong. And who knows, it just might happen. This might be something where even with the action and the visual effects looking absurdly schlocky as all hell, maybe Megan Fox is the high point in the film. Maybe she's the one that holds it together and makes it all work. You never know. Stranger things have happened. So yes, count me as someone who's probably going to end up watching Rogue and probably will end up paying for the privilege. It's not like I have any of that stuff that, you know, normal people have. What is it again? I'm trying to think of what they call it. Oh yeah, shame. Hey guys, thanks for watching. As always, if you've got your own thoughts or opinions on the trailer for Rogue, go ahead and leave a comment in the section below. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit that notification bell, share this video with your friends and family, and if you'd like to keep up to date on more at random videos, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button right over here.